Good day to you all. Cragum here, and we are live. So I'm not too sure. Let me just check the chat. Yeah, so I can see the chat. So welcome to a lovely Friday. We have a Leviathan Dreadnought in front of us. You can see he is ready and primed in his Nurgle colours. He's already had a wash applied to him. So he basically is, today is going to be a case of fixing him up. So be on the live video stream for, say, half an hour, something like that. Get myself started on him. So you can see already he's had the wash applied to him. He's got the butch cannon array. He's got the siege claw. And the handy thing with these is, oh, they come off. Yeah, so first things first is take those two off because I don't think I'll be working on them today. You can see he has been coated though in Agrax. The reason for that being is that's how all my Death Guarders start off pretty much after they've had the white and the green applied. It is a straight wash over with Agrax, and then it's all about cleaning up. And I know I could do recess cleaning, but that's not how I work. That's just not how I work. So let's get started, shall we? So again, if anybody's in the chat, pop your name in, say hi, and I will be happy to say hello back. So let's start off. I'm going to put the white there, and let's start with not that brush. Start with not that brush, that brush. Okay. Okay. So a lot of people always ask me why are you using paper towel for a palette. That's because I'm the most comfortable with paper towel with a palette, as it gets rid of a lot of the excess moisture that I dislike painting with. Gonna sneeze. Okay, so let's get in here and start getting this dirtiness kind of removed. So you'll notice, as the great Lord Duncan does say, 2 thin coats works best. So I'm trying to keep the coats thin because then it lets the dirtiness come through from the Agrax. So hopefully we will see something beautiful come out of this. But yeah, so it's a lovely Friday. Everybody's happy, and I am sat painting for you. And all I can hear is trucks and vans going past in the background. So, like I said, this will be all about the Leviathan. There is topics I do want to talk about in the form of dreadnoughts. As today we saw the Custard Cream Guard get their illustriously ginormous 30k counterpart of a dreadnought come into play. And this thing, it is a beast. Point cost wise, it's definitely a beast. I think it's like 400 points for a dreadnought. That is a lot of points. But at the same time, it will be dishing out the pain, undoubtedly, as it's got some nasty weaponry, nasty rules as well. Not a lot of rules, which I like about 8th edition. But it is one of those things where I think it's going to be a deadly adversary on the board for anybody who's got it. Hello, Valeric. How are you doing? Good to have you on the live feed. Always good to have a very well-known name on the feed. Very much appreciate you being here. If you have any questions, by all means ask them. I am happy to answer. I'm currently discussing, well, I say discussing, I'm talking to myself about the delights of the new Custard Guard Dreadnought. Hence why I'm painting my Dreadnought, probably. Um, it's a very scary thing with the beta rule saying that it ignores wounds on a 6, well, damage on a 6. It's got a 4+ invulnerable save. It stands still. It fires its certain weapon twice. It's a nasty beast, and I mean, admittedly, I'm not a Custard Guard collector, but I have to say it does look a beautiful model. I would love to have one of those showpieces. See, this is the thing. As Varric has said, it's a nasty thing. But you're not deep striking it turn 1, though. Don't forget that. You won't be deep striking it turn 1, which is a good sign for me. But for me, I think GW's, especially Dreadnoughts, have always been an impressive range. Mainly the Forge World ones, as you can see. It's one of those where I think Forge World team had such a field day painting, making some of the sculpts of these kind of dreadnoughts. I mean, I remember I always wanted one of each of the Traitor Legions, because the Night Lords one, the Thousand Suns one, even though I hate Thousand Suns, they were beautiful sculpts. And this Custard Guard one, it's without fail, it sticks to the rule of cool. I think dreadnoughts are one of those things which, through the hobby, through the years of GW, have massively evolved in design. I mean, you look at the old ones and they look like something out of RoboCop or a B movie for sci-fi. And now you have these basically walking sarcophagi. Look at me, I'm getting English right on the first time. Normally I don't in my videos. And it's a case of the design of these things just makes them look and essentially feel the kind of warmongering, fear-causing casket of death that they are. I hate it when I play a player and he's got two. I am not, Varric, sadly I am not at Fest tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the release schedule, which is tomorrow. I think we can all safely say that a rogue trader in us is wanting to see more of those delicious models, which were shown yesterday. I mean, the rogue trader stuff, my God, as a big fan of the Black Library, I was kind of gutted to see that it was saying it was later in the year that they were going to be sending them out onto the shelves, because at the end of the day, like, you look at those models, there was some gorgeous sculpts in there, and you can only speculate. I mean, I think the first people were saying, oh, it's Arbites. For me, I presume, I mean, obviously we don't know much, but from what I can see from the pictures, we're going to get some form of Necromunda style board game, which, if anything, it is going to be Creatures of the Warp, because those things don't all kind of coincide. Obviously, there is like the Nurgly flies and things like that, but there is some very weird warp things in there, and I presume it is a case of, from what I could tell from the board, there was kind of like doors, things like that. I wonder if it's going to be like on the ship, and basically, if you've read kind of any of Abnett's stuff, or just hoping to make the same scale as Imperials. Yeah, I have to admit, those security / crew, they did look very nice guard material. Kind of looked a bit like Peach's guard in a way. And I mean, I used to go to Derby store where Peach first started off. I think he started off there anyway. And he his guard have always been interesting. He's always had an interesting take on how the Imperial Guard should look. So these models coming up are gorgeous. I can't wait. The man in the big old hat with the scarf over his face, I'm only presuming is your rogue trader. Very interestingly was the way that GW did the video yesterday, as as a few people had said, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy essentially, because you've got like these very stylish people who go around space collecting and pillaging and being good and bad, as the first film would quote. Oh, hello, old average British gamer. Good to have you here as well. Sorry the feed is so early. Obviously, a few people will be getting out of work. That's why I kind of scheduled it for now. Because I thought it would be a right time for everybody getting out of work. So it's Friday, people are getting out, and freedom is there. So what better way than to do a video when everybody's leaving work? Nice little, if you're on public transport, something to watch, or if you've had the day off and just wanting to unwind. Oh, you've been working from home. Great to have you on here, Valrak. Thanks for popping by. I'll continue talking about the Rogue Trader release. And basically, yeah, so where I left off was that I feel like the Rogue Trader stuff there's going to be expansions on it. I am a big fan of the box games. I have Silver Tower, I have Lost Patrol, I have Gore Chosen, I have Shadespire, I have Space Hulk. I love all of them. I love all of the box sets. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to probably adding another one. I'm gutted it's not coming out earlier, as I would have loved to have kind of it out for my birthday, which is at the end of this month. Yay for me! I'm turning 30, and oh, did my brush just get? No, I didn't. Yes, I'm turning 30, so I kind of would have hoped the box set would be released for the end of May because of the fact they're releasing it, but I know at the same time that was very much a long shot. So yeah, it's one of those where you win and you lose, and I sadly will lose out because they did say later in the year. But yeah, we all love the box sets. I have Death Watch Overkill still in its wrapping. My God, well, I'll happily take it off you, old, if you want. That is it's a good set. I actually went halves with somebody so I could get these guys out of it because I use them as my guard. So I went halves on somebody with that. But yeah, that and Execution Force, I think I would have liked. Guardians of Comagore, I would have wished I got that. Obviously, a lot of them out of production now as well, which it does make me raise the question of, obviously, yes, they are just sprues. Like the Lost Patrol was just scouts, and it was just Gene Stealers. The same with Gore Chosen, it was just 4 hero characters. But do you know what? They are, as soon as they go out of production, suddenly people want them. I remember I actually got Gore Chosen by luck at my local gaming store, Fanboy Free. I was looking for it. It was around Christmas time this last year, and I was urging. I was ringing people up. I rang Element. I rang up, you name it, anybody in the vicinity, and it suddenly clicked to me. I was like, oh, Fanboy Free. I know they have stuff. They're not always the one to be selling a lot of GW stuff, because obviously they're a local gaming store, so they kind of have the certain stock. And lo and behold, yep, we have one behind the shelf. Yin Yang Yang. I snapped that up because I'd be so fool not to. But sadly, that is still in its box. I am going to do an unboxing now on that, I think. And I will. This is the thing as well for the channel. I want to get into more battle reports, things like that. The situation I am at home is that I haven't got the table set up for battle reports, but I would quite like, and I'd quite like to know how people thought about this, of doing smaller games as battle reports. So again, things like Lost Patrol, Shadespire, they seem very popular now. The board games, a lot of people are taking them on, and I kind of think, well, maybe I could do them for my channel. So that is something I'm looking at. And again, Rogue Trader, it looks beauty. Necromunda, I'd love to do, but it's a problem I think a lot of gamers have, is getting to see your friend group and actually kind of gaming with them on a regular basis, which can justify you having a campaign for Necromunda or a few games in one night. Me and my friends, we will normally, once we are kind of all set, do a game, and that's it. We have one game, a big game each, and then that's it. So, and this problem I have with people is that half my friends who play game are down in Derby. I live in Manchester, so when I want to game, it's very hard to get to game. And I'd love to get out more and game, but it is one of those ailments. I can't beat it, and it's availability as well. I mean, obviously there's the local gaming store, things like that. That's not my can order. Whoever's joined us, say your name and say hello, and I can say hello back. Give you a shout out in the videos. But yeah, so it is getting one of those things. So I mean, for me at the moment, because I'm not gaming as much, is the aim is to get models painted and get them painted fast, so that, but still at the same time get them painted well. I don't want to rush anything. This guy is being painted because we've got the monthly painting competition in Manchester coming up, so it's one of those where I've got to get him painted. I've got to get him painted before my birthday. So no pressure at all there, Craig. Need a regular gaming game, or multiple games per session. Yeah, that is the case. And I think the problem is when you do multiple games, like, and I mean, we have been in this exact scenario before. Me and my friends, is we all went to Element. We all sat down. We had a game each, and it was 4 of us. And we said, right, well, after we played the game, we'll switch people, and we'll go on to the next opponent. It got to the point we'd had the first game. We hadn't been playing for too long. We'd been playing for the average of a 2K game back in 7th. I think, no, it wasn't 7th, it was 8th. Yeah, we've been playing a game of 8th. I actually had a massive scrap on camera, and it was on my live battle against the Tyranids. Damn you, Stu, and your Gene Stealer bastards. And I swore now. I was trying not to on a live feed, but oh well. And I remember we had the game, and literally we all finished, and we all sat there and just went, you know what, no, I can't be bothered. We all kind of said, let's just go home then, yeah. And it was gutting, because we had all travelled, like, one from Salford, one from Stockport, one from where I am, up in Oldham, one from Warrington, and we all kind of just went, no, we're knackered. And I think that is the problem. Unless, like, you're in a tournament scene, or you're really raring to go and this is like a special event, you don't game frequently. And I think that is a massive issue for a lot of gamers. And I think it's what gets a lot of gamers out of the hobby, if anything, is accessibility, if anything. So, I mean for me, I'm gutted. I used to game at the local GW store on, like, certain weeks when I was available to, on the Tuesday and the Thursday. Sadly, the Thursdays became League Week. So obviously, with me being limited to only being able to game a certain night of the week, certain weeks of the month, it made it so that I couldn't. Oh, hello, Grumpy Guy Gaming. Thank you for the Leviathan nice comment. Thank you. I need tissue, because my nose is running. So nice for everybody to know on the feed. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, do feel free to put them forward, because I'd be happy to answer them. As you'll probably have seen in my previous videos, I am very opinionated. Also, just to show you, I'm very slow on this, but like I say, I want to take my time on him. I don't know if you can see well with that camera, but he's very dirty one side, very clean the other. So yeah, he's going to be quite a crisp looking more dreadnought, but that's primarily because that's how my Death Guard are. I add little bits of dirt after. Oh, we have a third person join. We have 3 people in chat, and I know that Grumpy Guy's in here. I know we have MrCragum Gaming. Who is the third person? That is my question. So if you can say who you are, I can give you a lovely hello on the feed. But only if I can see you on the feed, because at the moment I am on my phone. So it's not going to be easy for me to see who it is on the feed. But yeah, so like I say, I think the problem is having that availability to games. So I mean, like I say, the local Games Workshop store turned Thursday nights into League night. Oh, Mr. Mini Dreams, but you can call me Mini. Well, I will call you Mini. Or is Mr. Dreams okay for you as well? And it's gutted me. Yeah, obviously it's dedicating itself to the regulars who do enjoy going every week. But the problem is, because it's a League night, I'm out, because I can't attend 12 weeks in a row non-stop and game, because obviously they have to have a certain amount of places to game between all the players. And I think it's a smart move for the regulars, but it's a gutting move for people who did used to come regularly. Oh, Rogue Trader. So as I was saying before, I kind of went on a tangent away from Rogue Trader. I will say again, I can't wait. I cannot wait. It's one of those. I think is going to be amazing, and I actually have picked myself up. It's nowhere about to see, but I actually picked up myself the Wargaming magazine, because that's actually got 2 Cyberhounds from Wild West Exodus in it. So I have picked them up, because what better way to make a Rogue Trader retinue of crazy individuals than having 2 giant cyber dogs. I am a big fan of the mad and mental of modelling, so as an example, this is still one of my favourites. I'm a painter, not a player, so I'm excited to have new figures. Yeah, I think, looking at some of the sculpts again, this guy is still probably, I think, with GW, and I was just saying at the start of the feed, GW have excelled in these sculpts as the years have gone by. I mean, they're amazing. They really are. Like, look at that thing. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering where its arms are, the start of the video, I took them off. It's magnetized, so I can do that. But yeah, I love GW sculpts. I think they're really smartly done. They're really, really impressive. Such a nice quality to them. And again, you're gonna reach him. Yes, I can. Again, the same 2 guys in one pack. And these are the same 2 guys who, for my life, have been the best models I have ever had. I just love it. I love this guy. He just makes me think of Dan Abnett, Psychers at Thrashing Gate. And that's all what matters, is these 2 guys. Pop them back up there, up on the shelf. But yeah, it is one of those things. I have, of course, you'll have seen from previous videos, started dabbling in these guys over here, to add for my Nurgle guys. So talking of sculpts, these are actually Spellcrows stuff. And you know what? It sounds like I'm pumping this stuff, but I am. No, I'm joking. They are. I love how everybody, not just GW, everybody's coming up with these fantastic concepts, designs, sculpts. You name it, you want it. Do you know what's actually probably now my new favourite one? I will probably do a live stream on this guy next week. Is Eisenhorn. I will probably start doing a paint job for him, because I love him. Mr. Mini Dreams, actually, funny you should say that. Actually, what I'm going to do while I'm on the live feed, I might as well tell you. So, if you are looking for Spellcrow, I am here to help. So if you have something you want to get from Spellcrow, what you can do with the help of MrCragum Gaming is you can, if you spend over £30 on the site, all you have to do is enter in my name in the comments of when you're making your purchase at the checkout. And what you can do, oh, so you're working on a Playgreen army. That's perfect. Yeah. So what you can do if you spend more than £30 on a transaction at Spellcrow in one go, when you get to checkout, put my name in there, and what you can do is you can get yourself a free Demon Prince of Nurgle, and it's the or disclaimer, it's either a Demon Prince of Nurgle, or you can get 30 pounds worth of gear of your picking. Don't obviously go taking the mick, but yeah, it is something. So if you quote my MrCragum Gaming when you get to the checkout, and then you say Plague Prince, there you go. You've got yourself one free Plague Prince, because there's that £30 spent on other stuff. So again, if you want to get minis, things like that, by all means do so. And it'll get you a free Demon Prince. So what's wrong with that, eh? Someone else has joined us in the chat. Say hello, give me your name, and I will give you a shout out. Because that's how I roll. Okay, let's have a look. Let's get back to leg, shall we? Leg day on the. I keep wanting to say Mortarian Dreadnought. It's not. Mortarian's Dreadnought. It's a Leviathan. But yeah, give me your name in the chat. I can say hello to you. I don't like not being able to know who's chatting and who's there. Ask away questions as well, guys. Like say Rogue Trader. The models look amazing. I can't wait to see more. So obviously, as we all know, Warhammer Fest is going to be this weekend. Is anybody going in the chat? I'd be intrigued to know. Sadly, I'm not myself, but basically, yeah, I think. Oh, Brit, I'm jealous. I am very jealous. I mean, it's at Warhammer World, isn't it? Correct? I just want to make sure I'm correct. I've not done one of the big events ever, I don't think. So I've always intrigued. So I'm yeah. Oh, it's in Coventry, is it? Oh, okay. I thought that makes sense. Yeah. I think with Warhammer Fest, I can't wait to see this release schedule tomorrow. What's coming out, because. You can't. You can't go to Warhammer Fest. There is some people traveling from very far, Grumpy Guy. There is some people traveling from very far. But no, I understand you. It is. I think the good thing about GW and their events is they cover them quite well. Now they've got the community page. They don't let people miss out. And we all know that tomorrow is going to be share day on all the Facebook pages, all the YouTube channels. Everybody's going to be losing it on the release thing, because there is obviously this picture going around of what looks like a battle report between Guard, and I think it's Peach's Guard, versus what looks like an Orc army. And in the very background, you can see what looks like a giant new orc. And obviously everybody is now going, where's my orcs? Where's my space wolves? I think now's our time to get them. And I think it's one of those where I think, what is it? We've got Harlequins, we've got Knights. Have Knights had their book? Yeah, Knights have had their book, haven't they? But they have got the new models coming out. That big one that we saw at Vegas Open. And I think we're going to have some fantastic models being released tomorrow. I think hopefully it's not just we see the Rogue Trader and a couple minis. I think it's going to be Orcs, Space Wolves, and of course Rogue Trader. I think we've got to remember as well is Sigmar needs some loving as well. So, but they have just had the in fish people. Let's just call them fish people. And it is one of those cases. I think we we are all itching to see Russ. Don't slap my wrists, but yeah, I think Russ is coming. I think Russ is going to be our next Primarch. Um, oh, look at that leg. Look at that ankle. It's coming along nicely. Yeah, I think Russ is going to be our Primarch. I think he's going to be a release, but I think we're going to see Gazgul. I think we're going to see Gazgul in a new, up-to-date 8th edition form. Hello, Brickstorm. Now, I don't know why, Brickstorm, but your name just instantly makes me think a secret agent. It's like Brickstorm reporting for duty. Sorry, that was a weird tangent. This is why I don't do live feeds more often, because the stuff I come out with is not filtered, especially after half an hour. I don't know how long. I think I accidentally set a timer on this, so if the feed goes off, I apologize, because I don't know what time are we on. I don't know. I don't. This is how unprepared I am, and I put the clock away in a box, because the study's still getting worked on. But yeah, so if I disappear, guys, I will reignite the feed if I can. So if I disappear, don't go away. I will be no doubtedly having technical issues because this is how I do it. But yeah, so guys, ask me questions by all means. I'm actually doing. I've got some videos coming out in the near future, which are stepping away from kind of unboxings. There is, don't get me wrong, some unboxings because it's a me, Cragum. I can do whatever I want. This channel is mine. No. There's something which I quite like the look of it, and basically this turned from me going through all my old publications, and I realised, my God, GW have done some fantastic stuff in the past, and it became this thing of, like, why don't I do videos on them, post about and talk about some of GW's best publications. So there is basically a series coming out called the Retro Read series, which will cover old books from GW which have just been absolute belters in my eyes. So the first one is coming up Monday, and that is Monday, or is it Sunday? It's Monday. It's Monday. And the first one is the Ogre Kingdom's old army book. So when they first came into fantasy. And I love that book. They're only 5 minutes long, kind of things. They're kind of not. I don't want to go boring you with all this and that. So it's going to be kind of like short, little, brief reads. Not even reads, just looking over what we used to be, because there is people now who, especially with fantasy, like obviously 8th edition is now here for 40k and everything's changed very much. But fantasy changed massively from back in the day. So have a look at some of these old codexes and army books is just a delight. One of them, one I'm really, really looking forward to looking at, is the Demon Hunter Codex. That was a highlight of my life. Because it was just such a good book. It had conversion pages in it and everything. How is everybody thinking to that leg? What do we think? To the left leg? Yeah, the left leg. It's looking nice. So I'm getting there. It's cleaning it up. I think a lot of people say to me, why do you do a wash over an entire white? Why don't you just keep it clean? And the reason is because of this white, the pallid witch flesh. I say white, it's pallid witch flesh. It shows through the stains of what you've washed, and I love that because it's kind of like pre-shading, but with the kind of a very, very, very faint effect. So it gives this nice texture to the model. You can't really see it on that. I don't know if it's gonna show you, but it gives a nice little effect. And then what I can do with Pallid Witch Flesh is when I want to edge highlight, I just use white, like actual white, because the difference in the two is massive. Well, not massive, but you can see there's a brightness difference there. Yeah, like, and I quite like it as an off-white. It's not for me to have the entire army in pristine white gear. You don't go into war with white gear like that. It's not cricket, literally. But yeah, I'm rambling. Blah, blah, blah. Have a drink and then start again, Craig. Okay. But yeah, so what I want to know is from you guys is what kind of videos you'd want to see me do, what you'd like to see on the channel. Obviously, battle reports is always a very popular one. I will have them very soon, fingers crossed, because I do have the armies. I have my Traitor Guard, I have my Flesh Tearers, I have my Death Guard, I have banged my toe on the paper shredder. And I think it's a case of I can have the battle reports. I've got so many, including that. It, honestly, old it is one of those things I can't like stress enough. There is. I have another one which will be out. I think I'm going to try and make it a weekly thing to do a retro read a week. I've got the Armageddon book, the supplement, and it's insane to see what supplements were like back then compared to what they are now. Like now, a supplement has so much substance in it, but none of it's really valuable game wise. Whereas when you look at the Armageddon one, it's got the kind of the rules and kind of like the army list builds for 3 armies or 3 or 4 armies in there. It's got the Cult of Speed, it's got the Salamanders, and it's got Black Templars and Steel Legion. And you think, and that was literally, I think, like thinner than a White Dwarf Weekly, and it was £4. But that's what I think a supplement is, really. A supplement should be a thin book, which literally has exactly what you need in it, and that's it. And I think GW know that because now 8th edition, the codexes are kind of law, and that's it. You don't get supplements, you don't get side books to go with your codexes, and I think that's really nice. It's one of those where. DW, I mean, I always remember I had a game at Warhammer World last year. A good lad, Phil, he had his Blood Angels. And Phil had Blood Angels, but he had certain Blood Angels, and so he had the Space Marine Codex, the Blood Angels Codex, and the Baal Codex as well. And watching him go through book after book after book just to get one line of rule was just, it was horrid to see. So I think GW have hit the nail on the head. We obviously were getting the Army Builder app coming soon. When I don't know, but we'll hopefully get it soon. And it's one of those, I think, kind of I think we take very much for granted now. People moan so much, and they say like when the Army Builder came out on the website, and it was really basic and it was just PowerPoints. Everybody was going, "Oh, but where's the blah, 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 blah." No, do you know what? Back in the day, we had a pencil. This is a paintbrush, but we had a pencil. We had a piece of paper. We had a codex. And we had to sit there and we had to write them out. And that's how it was. There was no help. There was no apps. There was just paper and pens. And that for me, like, and I hear people moaning about that app. Well, not the app, any app really. And I think, just shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. There is people, like I say, when you look at these old codexes, the way it worked was you had everything all pointed out in different pages, and it was painful. So yeah, people nowadays don't take what you have for granted. What I'm going to say, guys, is I'm going to give the 5-minute warning. 5-minute warning, because the feed has been going on for 40 minutes. But I appreciate you guys obviously sticking through, watching the feed. Always great to have you guys chat to. I'll continue with the leg until the 5-minute warning is over. But I'm happy. This is the kind of pace I wanted to. If it takes me 45 minutes to paint one leg, admittedly I've been plugging stuff, I've been doing all this, all that. But if it takes me that long just to do one leg, so be it. I don't want to rush this guy. He costs a lot of money, he costs a lot of points, and he does a lot on the battlefield. So I want him to be that centerpiece for my army. Obviously, he will be alongside his good man Typhus. So you can see, like I say, this is how I paint the Death Guard. I paint him in kind of very thin layers to bring up that white but brown at the same time. Yes, it's your old boy Typhus. By the way, there is also going to be a video on Typhus. So many people have asked me questions. I need to answer them, and I feel rude that I haven't answered them since. But yeah, so I've got a 75 PowerPoint list made up. So when I go to Games Workshop for the next competition, you think, oh, okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, for me, I understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, for me, who does an old school pen and paper brigade, but if you want to automate it, do it properly. Someone spent time doing it. Someone gave permission to publish it, and it was bad. Yeah, admittedly, yeah, there was. I didn't. I'll put my hand up. I will admit there was some bad stuff with it. I think there was armies missing off it, which wasn't great. But it was, for me, I think, because obviously I'm a Necron player, I'm a Death Guard player, so for me it was quite handy because we do PowerPoints on Tuesday nights at the store in Manchester. So my 75 PowerPoint list can literally be made within 20 seconds, because I can just drop in and pop things in. I think the problem that they had was that obviously with PowerPoints, even though, yeah, you're only paying for the unit. Oh, I know which one you mean, Grumpy. Yes, it had the pictures of the units on it. I have to admit, I may have used that site quite a bit because it was fantastic. I think when 8th edition came about, I'm ready, Bobo, so I'm just going to go. Yeah, and it was an amazing site. And I remember when 8th edition came out, because obviously it was all based off the indexes, because someone had literally sat there and just blitzed every single index and just put it all on this one site. And it was a great site if you weren't Games Workshop. I think they were actually originally going to be in talks. Like, people were saying to have him in talks with them, like with the guys who made it, because it was so well done. Because you could drag a unit and pop it in. Yeah, when I kind of got wind that, obviously, because I think somebody went to GW and told them about it, like they did with the Inquisitor film, which is still to be released, but we had that beautiful, tantalizing clip of it. Yeah, someone really went to it. So when that kind of got word, I think it went across a lot of the sites and the kind of the groups, that someone had kind of slipped the duck and said, like, that's it. I think I did a list. I think I have a few Excels and PDFs saved of my entire, obviously they're now out of date, but I had my entire Blood Angels list of 4,000 points. I had my entire Guard army of like 5,000. I had my entire Death Guard in Nurgle of like about 10,000 points, all listed in one go because I could. And it was the fact that you could put weapon options on it. And this is what I was going to say, is I am a bit disappointed with that kind of the PowerPoint list builder, because they haven't put weapon options on, if I'm correct. I might be wrong now. I don't know if they've updated it. Yeah, the Hell's Reach series. I'm interested by that because I haven't watched much of it, but it does look very beautifully done. I think as long as it's non-profit, I think it's okay. I think because that was the reason the Inquisitor film was going to be kind of good to go ahead, was because it was non-profit. So I think that's why maybe I think with Hell's Reach they haven't kind of slammed the books down on them, because if at the end of the day, yeah, it's their intellectual property. Um, I think for GW to stop somebody like that, especially with the guys like who doing the Inquisitor film, it just puts bad light on GW, because these people aren't, like I say, unless they're making profit and selling stuff with GW IP on it. I think it's just it's not damaging the brand, because it's showing this big community and fan base of the hobby. Like some of these people who are doing these films, they're probably not even gamers, like, and not like gamers or painters. They just like the lore or like the stories, and they wanted to get involved and do something which was different. And there is a lot of fan fiction out there. Look at all the crap Harry Potter and Star Wars. There's some awful Star Wars fan stuff out there. There's also some amazing stuff out there. So for GW to miss a treat, I mean, like I say, we got the Hell's Reach series. I think, what is it, episode 11 now or something like that. And we've got the Inquisitor trailer, and it was a case of like, wow, this is amazing. Especially the Inquisitor thing. The voice acting wasn't great, but again, at the same time, it was a non-profit kind of situation. And I think GW very wisely said, "Do you know what, let them do it, because these guys have got some skill, and they've got some time, and they've got some dedication to this brand." And I think in the last year, since we've seen 8th edition come about, I've not seen the End of Hope trailer actually, so I need to watch that. Actually, I think I might go watch that after this live stream has ended. Being on YouTube and all that. And I think it's one of those things where since 8th edition, the hobby has changed massively. I think since Age of Sigmar, really, actually. It's changed massively. The community page, the online kind of, like, GW really struggled with the online kind of presence, and the old sites. This is kind of talking long ago, but they didn't have very good websites. Yeah, the websites were great for articles, things like that, but my God, they could do some amazing stuff now with the community. Like these teasers. What a great! It's not just a great thing for the community; it's a great thing for GW. They've got a fantastic. Oh yeah, the old GW forum, the thing what never worked for me. That's why I always went to Warseer. But no, it was, and what was it before Warseer? It's called something else. I can't remember what it was called. But like, yeah, and Warhammer community, it does so much for the hobby, because you have GW players who don't have access to friends and social groups to chat about things like that. So the community page is there to help them. But at the same time, GW's community page is a fantastic method of business building, generating sales, because you've got something which literally is just sat there, just like this is it. This is in a nutshell. We've seen a leaked picture. So 1 hour later, we're going to give you the exact image you want to see. So if you've seen it on somebody else's page or whatever, here you go. Here is the model. Here is this. And instantly they've got people going, I want that. I want that. I want that. I want that. And Road Trader was a proof of that last night. Everybody lost it, and they sent out a really amazing Guardians of the Galaxy-esque style video, and people lost it. And so was I. I was one of those people who lost it. And I'm losing it now, I think, because I've actually hit 49 minutes of the feed. So I'm going to stop rambling now, guys. I'm going to stop. The video was superb. I honestly, I think GW, I think, what was it they did? They do some really cringy stuff. Like the Necromunda, the girl action from the Escher gang was painful, but painfully funny at the same time. And I think they know what their market is, so they know how to target. They know at the end of the day, most of us who play Warhammer will either like a Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Marvel films, or DC stuff. And lo and behold, they hit Guardians of the Galaxy noggin on the head. So yeah, I like all the voice actors. I think, like I say, the Escher girl was probably the most cringiest, but you know what? All fair due to it. It's the exact same kind of thing as a person dressing up in an outfit and standing outside of Disneyland. Um, so well done to him. Anyway, guys, on that note, as we hit 50 minutes on the feed, I'm going to say goodbye. Again, check out some more of the videos coming up. There's going to be a lot more content because I'm paying attention to the channel more. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I shall speak to you very soon. Video coming out Monday for retro reads, so check that out. And if you've got any requests, do put them forward because I may have some ideas on what I could do and try and find some of the books to have a review of. Also, may I just say, Old Brit, enjoy Sunday at Warhammer Fest. I hope to see a video from yourself posting up about it very soon. Well, I hope you enjoyed, guys. Cragum